GlenDronach 12, is it a little bit shit now? Let's discuss. Hello and welcome to your whiskey walk. I was going to take a walk to a salmon hut along the Silvery Tay so that you could see a bit of where I stay and we would have a nice chat about GlenDronach 12. But I attempted it and it is so overgrown. My little dog struggled and it's all grass and I have a decent allergy to grass pollen and yeah, I can feel my legs itching because I did try, and I'll maybe put a little clip of where I got to. It was like, it's taller than me. The stuff was like 6-7 foot tall. So I want to talk about GlenDronach 12, and the reason I want to talk about GlenDronach 12 is I feel it has changed over the years and not for the better. Now, those who follow my videos and watched a bunch of them will know that I'm a massive advocate for GlenDronach, and especially the 12. I went even as far to say that the 12 was better than the 15, which I got a bit of flack for in the comments for. But you know, the context of that was, you know, you got to take into perspective the sort of value for money and stuff as well, right? So the 15 was a lot more expensive, and when I was drinking GlenDronach 12, it was like 34 quid a bottle or something. And I think at that point in time, it had older stuff in it. I was getting older kind of bottlings. Whereas now, I'm pretty sure it's just 12-year-old in it and that's it. There's no older stuff. And there's a few reasons why I say that. And I'm going to say like the last 4 or 5 bottles that I've had have been steadily decreasing in my enjoyment with them. It's just not liked them as much at all. And this last one has obviously inspired me to make this video. So I must have really not liked it. And it was a weird one, because it wasn't like, oh god, this is awful whiskey. It's still nice, it's just not inspiring anymore. I wouldn't advise it to somebody now. Like before, I'd be like, to a whiskey noob that's like, oh, I quite want to get into sherry, what would you advise? I'd be like, GlenDronach 12, go for it. No, nah, I wouldn't. I'd advise something else. I'd probably say, you know, go independent bottler, or you know, GlenDronach, maybe a Mortlach, maybe. Like everybody's doing sherry now and everybody's doing it pretty well. So, but it's still, all the other ones have still not quite hit the nail on the head for me. GlenDronach still is amazing. Like if you go and get a bottle of handfill from the distillery, I mean, it's hard to beat. You compare that to other sherry bombs and you're just like, wow, this is like super sherry. However, this last bottle, what was wrong with it? So on the nose, it was fairly decent. It was all right. I was still getting some of the good notes. I was still getting the caramels, the toffees. You know, it was still okay. And on the palate though, just something was so off with it. And I know it's not, you know, my palate's probably not in the best sort of time right now because of the hay fever and whatnot. But there's other drams that I'm enjoying that I've always enjoyed. For instance, the one I've got in my pocket, in my little hipper. Hit the Whiskey Trials shop if you want a hipper. I'll talk about this dram in a minute because it's so consistent and it's so good. It never lets you down. And I really think the GlenDronach 12 is letting me down now. But yeah, comments below if you're having the same experience with GlenDronach 12. Maybe you've still got an older bottling and would send me a sample. That would be great, because I'd really like to compare an older bottling now with a newer one. I guarantee you I'll be able to pick out quite a lot of differences. So this dram, right, so this recent bottle that I've had that's inspired me to make this video had something wrong with it. It wasn't like, oh, this is a horrible whiskey. It's just, like I said, it's not inspiring anymore. But the flavour profile had something there that I was just like, what is that? It was like a harshness, like an unfinished, unpolished, unlike sort of GlenDronach. And I think this is where I'm leading to the, for me, like the GlenDronach age means it's a little bit better, because I think the raw spirit, the new make, is a little bit harsh and it's a little bit funky. It needs time to settle, and there's nothing wrong with that. It makes for like a fantastic, I guess it's really active with the casks, and that's why you get such an amazing flavour profile. But the 12 now, I think it's just got 12 in it, and there's no older stock going in there just to sweeten the deal, as it were. I'm getting more and more. I'm getting this kind of harsh, much more spirity, and it's not. I mean, normally I do enjoy new make. I do enjoy the spiritiness in whiskey. I do enjoy younger whiskies. I just don't know if that's where GlenDronach's meant to be. But yeah, there's definitely something. It's not all just flavour. It's like the mouth feel. It's kind of harsh feeling, and for the GlenDronach 12, that's not what I expect. It's not what I've been used to. And at 40, is it 43 or 46? I don't even think it's 46. I think it's 43, isn't it? And for 43% whiskey, I don't expect that. You know, there's things like Ben Nevis's, right? They can give you a kick up the arse. They can be a bit rough and ready, but it's nice. You know, it's got that kind of, I like that. I like a rough and ready whiskey. But when it's meant to be refined, sherried, GlenDronach 12, I don't want it to have that kind of rough edge, especially at 43%. If it was cask strength, then maybe you can accept a bit of roughness, but it's not even like a nice roughness. I know I'm babbling on about this kind of weird flavour profile, but I found it really hard to put my finger on exactly what it is. So if anybody's got better words than me, put them in the comments and let me hear them, because yeah, I have been really struggling with this. God, dogs again. 2 seconds, guys. I'll be back. Aye, where was I? Right, banks of the Silvery Tay. Always have to stop to put the lead on my dog because she hates other dogs. So as soon as that happens, I'm like, oh, another dog. Got to put the camera down and make sure that, you know, there's not a massive dog fight going on. Okay, so yes, comments below please. If you have noticed the GlenDronach 12 profile changing, how has it changed for you? For me, it's definitely a flavour mixed with a sort of mouthfeel, mixed with a kind of a roughness that I'm not enjoying. And I do enjoy a kind of rough and ready whiskey, like I said. So my thoughts are that obviously it's moving into a different kind of stage. Brown-Forman are pushing out this agenda, I guess, of, you know, making the spirit more stable for certain markets, I suppose. You know, bringing in chill filtering. Now the 18, which was well known for having older whiskey in it, no longer has older whiskey in it. I think that they may have had that same ethos with the 12 and perhaps the 15. So I think now the 12 is just 12-year-old. I definitely feel like it's lighter, both in colour than the old ones I used to get, and mouthfeel, flavour, oils, all the rest of it. So yeah, tell me what you guys think. Is GlenDronach 12 worth it anymore, given that it's like 44 quid or thereabouts? Will you advise people to get it now? What are your other recommendations for something that's, you know, in that kind of price point or a little bit cheaper? I'm gonna stop at this bench. Oh. And yeah, oh yeah, I was going to talk about the whiskey, that the 12-year-old that never lets you down, which is the Buna. The Buna Haven 12 never lets you down. It is like silk in a glass. It's honey, you know, it's just delicious. Oreo, you should be home without me. Come here. Come here. Look. Come on. You poor old stick. Oh, she's 12 now, so she just wants to get home. She would probably just go home without me, but you don't have a key to the door, so you're not getting. So yeah, Buna Haven 12 for me. It's cheaper. It's normally around what, like the 35 quid mark? Well, maybe it's a bit in the late 30s, but I tend to pick up on a deal when it's at 35 quid. And never lets you down. It's got that honey, that ginger, cloves, light pepper, spice, but it's all creamed together and silky smooth. So yeah, just like way better than GlenDronach for me right now, and so much more consistent and better value for money. You know, it's is it a 46? I think it's a 46. Boona doing it right. But yeah, I need more options, guys. I need options for sherried, because I tend to go independent bottlers and stuff now. But yeah, I'd like to get a core range that was as good as GlenDronach 12. And I know a lot of you are going to be like, GlenAllachie, get the GlenAllachie. It's just, I don't know, it's never quite clicked with me as much as GlenDronach has, you know. The GlenAllachie 12 was poor when the first bottling I had. I know it's improved. I've had another one and it definitely has improved. Something about GlenAllachie, I don't know what it is. I've had a few GlenAllachies now, especially the cash strength ones, and I always get like really bad reflux kind of heartburn going on. So yeah, not a huge fan of GlenAllachie. I do like it, it is nice, and I think it's improving. But no, I still don't think it's at sort of GlenDronach standards. Oh well, maybe it's better now, but yeah, give me some alternatives, please. Hiya. God, it's always so awkward walking past people, speaking on the camera. It's just like, what are you doing, you fool? Why are you talking to a small box about whiskey? Well, I'm talking to a small box about whiskey because I'm talking to you about whiskey. I'm not talking to a small box, I'm talking to you guys. So, yeah, tell me some alternatives. Oh, dog alert. So yeah, leave your GlenDronach alternatives, you know, around the 12-year-old mark, around the, let's say, 30 to 40 pounds mark, and stuff that you would tell a noob sherry person to go and get because it's like that life-changing whiskey that GlenDronach 12 used to be. It was for so many people. Talk to so many people, say GlenDronach 12, that's the one. So I want that again. I want that GlenDronach 12 again. Where can I get it? Somewhere else. Tell me. Cheers.